at VMworld 2019 in San Francisco, and we're visiting with SolarWinds. Can you tell me a little bit about the company and what you're showing here at VMworld?
Oh, absolutely. So SolarWinds, if you're not familiar with us, we've been around for about 20 years now, over 20 years. We do basically, as I explained it, enterprise infrastructure monitoring. Anything that you need at any level, wherever the data is, we can take care of. Primarily known for network monitoring, but now we've got server application monitoring. Of course, we're here to talk about our Virtualization Manager and our entire suite of products, which actually includes a whole security portfolio, because if you didn't know about it, security's kind of a thing these days.
Right. So how do you fit into the VMware ecosystem?
Well, our Virtualization Manager was built traditionally to give insights that you may not have been getting out of vSphere at the time. These days we've expanded it to do things like, say, recommendations. Hey, you might want to migrate this guest to this other, or from one host to another. But these days we're also adding in the native events that are found on site on hosts and guests. We're bubbling that up and consuming that into our security tools, and then giving correlation between those events and performance, because at the end of the day, we are enterprise infrastructure monitoring, right? That's what we do best, and we're trying to help customers here and explain to them that we can help you with your capacity planning, with your sprawl. We can dive into containers, whatever you need, especially with the idea of virtualization, containerization, we can take care of for you.
And if you had a crystal ball and could see where the industry is going, where would you say the hot areas are over the next 12 months?
So my crystal ball tells me security is going to become more of a focus than ever before. Security is a shared responsibility, which is good because now everybody has more of an awareness of it. And you even heard it today during the keynote. VMware bought Carbon Black, and one of the things it wanted to do was secure those endpoints. So with security becoming kind of more important with the larger companies like VMware, that's giving my crystal ball saying it's a really good thing to be a part of SolarWinds, where we also have our security portfolio of products. That's where I see everything heading these days, is securing your network, securing your applications, and securing your data.
And is there something we could take a look at? You have maybe a demo, or?
I've got 60 products to choose from. We can take a look at all of them.
Okay, great. So what are we taking a look at?
So since it's VMworld, let's take time to look at Virtualization Manager.
Great.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
So what you're looking at here is the main dashboard for Virtualization Manager. It's our virtualization summary page. You can see we tie right into vCenter or into Hyper-V hosts, whichever one you have. And we're going to give you some high-level information about your virtual environment as a whole. Like, for example, VMware number of virtual centers is 1, and clusters, so on and so forth. Over here, we've added in the VMware events, so you can see those on the right. We also have this thing called recommendations. I'm going to dive into both of those in a second. You can see we have our per stack view with a handful of metrics. I could dive into there as well and understand what's happening, but I might be more interested in, say, virtualization issues, or I might be interested in memory utilization. Our dashboard actually gives a lot of textual information about the state of your particular virtual environment. The alerts are there as well, CPU load, guess what's problems. Here's what I want to do, is I want to show you some of the focus reporting we have. So one is capacity planning. So I can come in here and I can run a report, and I can say, all right, tell me what this looks like. Where I am today is important, but where am I going to be in the future? So we can give an idea. We can come down here, I'll scroll down, we can see where we are, we can see where we're going to be. Disk usage is usually one people are concerned with. I could tell you in this, we're saying at the current rate of consumption, we're probably going to run out of space in roughly 7 days. Now, we all know capacity planning is kind of a wild guess, but in this case, you're getting a report to help you have that, I won't call it wild, we'll call it educated guess. But capacity planning, as we all know, is not an exact science. So we're trying to give the tools and put a little math behind it in order to help you understand your environment. The other one I want to show you that people really love is sprawl. So especially with containers, sprawl is going to be a little bit more of an issue. So what we've done here is we've given you an idea to understand the environment. We have the data and we're giving you kind of a pivot or a slice, if you will, of what it really looks like. So what you're seeing is, right here, some of the things that you might want to know, sprawl is overallocated memory, overallocated vCPU. We all know that overallocation isn't bad. It's actually the overcommit where things start becoming more of a problem in your virtual environment. But the first step is understanding where the overallocation might be happening. Orphan VMDKs, that's also a thing. You delete the VM, but the VMDK might not have gone away. Here's one of my favorites, the snapshot disk usage over here on the left. So understanding how many snapshots of 105 gigs. We all know the write penalty involved if you have a lot of snapshots. As a former database administrator, that was one of a pain point for me, is when VM admins would be using a lot of snapshots on a database server, and then I'd be suffering the performance penalty for that. So we try to highlight that here as well, giving you those insights in order to take action, in order to make things better for your end users. The last thing I want to do is I'm going to show you from the dashboards of virtualization. Let's take a deeper look at those VMware events. So we can consume all of the event logs from all of your VM hosts and bring them in here and give you an idea, like for right here, can't log in. Information here about what's really happening. How about this? How about this, Mike? This is a good one. The guest has entered a standby sleep state. You need to go hit a keyboard in order to wake that thing up. So you can go through these events, you can correlate them, you can aggregate them, filter on them, figure out what the real state of your environment is, and that's all in one dashboard. That you may not be getting that out of vSphere, right? You may need this type of information and metrics, and what we're doing is we're trying to highlight that information, make you a little more effective in your role as a virtualization administrator.
Right, and where can our viewers go if they want to find out more information about SolarWinds and some of the products that you talked about?
Absolutely, it's solarwinds.com. You can go to solarwinds.com/products and you get a full list of all the products that we have to offer. We also have an MSP side of the business. You can go to solarwindsmsp.com and you can see all of the services that we offer there as well.
Great. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with VMblog.
Yeah, thanks for having me.